Episode 1, Season 1. Too burnt to save when you know you need to leave. September 15th, 2023. I disappeared. Not metaphorically, not I mentally checked out. I meant I was gone. No one knew where I was. I didn't want anyone to know. And honestly, part of me didn't plan on coming back. Here's what makes this even harder to say out loud. I went dark right in the middle of peak wedding and event season. All around me, literally all around me, people were celebrating, toasting, dancing, cutting cake. And I couldn't be any part of it. I couldn't perform it. I couldn't fake it one more time. If you're a chef who's ever stood in the middle of someone else's best day and felt absolutely nothing, well, this episode is for you. This is a Idaho Warrior table, and I'm Chef Steve Murphy. And this is an episode I'd never thought I'd record. And to be honest, I've never done content or podcasts or any of this other bullshit in the past. And so this is literally my first attempt. So let me paint you a picture of who I was before September 15th. CIA graduate, chef and owner, single dad, big beautiful home, white picket fence, built a catering company with my soon-to-be ex-brother-in-law from scratch in Teton Valley, Idaho. On paper, I had it together. Behind the scenes, I was crumbling. This business partnership unraveled in ways that took more than just money. And at home, the one place a man is supposed to be able to come and exhale, my marriage was ending. We had been separated and she wasn't living with me now for about 6 months. That's not a blow up, not one single moment. Just a slow, painful unraveling happening in the background of every 14 to 16 hour day shift. And every morning I was still waking up, putting on the chef coat, firing up the line, and pretending. Because that's what we do, right? We don't talk about it. We don't slow down. We push, we grind. We tell ourselves the next season will be different. And it wasn't. It got worse. And one day in September, I hit a wall I couldn't cook my way through because I was cooked. I want to be honest with you about what absolute collapse looks like because nobody talks about this. It's not dramatic at first. It's quiet, standing in your own kitchen and feeling like a stranger. It's laughing at a table of guests and dying inside. It's driving home after a 16-hour day, knowing your marriage is falling apart and there's nothing left in it to fight for. It's watching your boys and wondering if they'd be better off without the version of you that keeps showing up. That's the part no one admits. That's the burnout, that the burnout gets so deep, so total, that you start grieving yourself while you're still alive. I call it the funeral of yourself. You're still breathing, you're still working. The man you were, the man you want to be, he's already gone. And somewhere along the way, you stopped fighting to get him back. Well, September 15th, 2023 was my peak season, champagne everywhere, and I was a ghost in the room. I just didn't know yet. It was also the day something new started. I left, no notice, no plan, no destination. A really great friend of mine who had been through an awful divorce of his own encouraged the West Coast. So that's where I just started driving. And in all that silence, in the absence of tickets and timers and the relentless noise of running a business, something cracked open, and not in a broken way. in a necessary way. I had been running so hard for so long, and I never once stopped to ask why. Why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? What am I actually building? And what is it worth, and what is it costing me? You see, the disappearance wasn't a breakdown. It was the first honest moment I've had with myself in years. You know, sometimes leaving is the bravest thing a man can do. And ladies and gentlemen, warriors are not built around the fire. They're built in the fucking fire. I came back, and when I came back different. Not fixed, not healed. Perhaps I would say confused. Not, I got it all figured out, right? There was clarity. And for the first time in years, genuinely clear. A clarity that you want to hold for yourself. I want you to hear this if you're in this right now. If you're running on empty, faking it in front of your crew, going home and having nothing left for your kids or yourself, you are not too far gone. You see, the collapse is not the end of your story. It might be the most important chapter, because you cannot build something real on a foundation that's cracked. Sometimes you have to let it fall so you can build it up right. I rebuilt Three Peaks Catering from the ground up after that. Smaller, more intentional, more me. And I started Idaho Warriors because I refuse to let another chef die quietly in the kitchen. That was supposed to be his dream. If today's episode hit close to home, good. That means you needed to hear it. I'm not asking you to quit. I'm not telling you to walk away from everything you've built. I'm asking you to be honest with yourself, maybe for the first time, and how your heart is doing. Not a generic howdy-doody doing, but how is your heart, chef? Because the bravest thing in this industry isn't the 80-hour week. It's the moment you finally stop and say, this has to change. Next episode, we'll talk about what clarity actually looks like after the collapse and first steps back. So this really is as simple as salt. I'm Steve Murphy, chef, single dad. I love you, warrior. Keep up the great work. Have a blessed day.